Hello, everyone. Welcome to all those who are new and those who are returning. My name is Sybil, and I am ever so grateful for the time and energy you bring to these readings and this experience. So please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as this really does help get these messages to the collective. And always, please use your discernment. I am not a licensed professional, so take only what resonates and always seek expert advice in medical, financial, and legal matters. But in this moment, I just want to take a breath, call in that breath of life and light that moves through every cell, and the love that remembers us whole. So just kind of letting go of any worries, anxieties, or fears, and allowing the ego to soften. This one's a little bit different. I had a guide come through, and this is someone who's passed on, decades ago. And he came through and said, "Howdy doody do. Howdy doody do." And I knew instantly who this was. I knew that this was my granddaddy. He doesn't always come forward. He really brings typically a lot of joy when he comes in. And this time, what made it so different was he said, "Howdy doody do. Howdy's gonna get you." Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Howdy Doody show from way back when. It was actually kind of before my time. But I do remember the general theme, and that Howdy Doody, I believe, was a sheriff. I should have probably looked that up before I came in. But I thought, oh, wow, that is so strange, right? That he would come through with something like that. So let me look here real quick. Howdy doody do a sheriff? Let's just check that before I say. He was a marionette circus cowboy, not a sheriff. Sorry about that. He was the star of a children's television program, The Howdy Doody Show, which ran from 1947 to 1960. He was the central figure and sidekick to the show's human host, Buffalo Bob Smith. So he was kind of like a sidekick, which is really cool because I always kind of felt like my granddaddy's sidekick, right? And it was great fun. So let's see what what we have going on here with Howdy Doody Do. I know that that actually means how do you do? So maybe that's the point of it, is to check in and see how everyone is doing at this time. So I will pull a couple affirmations real quick. Radiant health. So checking in with our physical health, we have my physical form is in perfect harmony with my spirit, allowing me to fulfill my purpose with strength and grace. my physical form is in perfect harmony with my spirit, allowing me to fulfill my purpose with strength and grace. So I don't know if some of us have been concerned about our health, right? Sometimes we make plans or we have plans to do things or accomplish things. And we wonder, especially as we age or if we've gone through any physical illnesses or disabilities, broken bones, things like that, that have us recuperating for a period of time. Sometimes we wonder, do I have the physical stamina? Do I have the physical ability to carry these dreams forward? Right. And it's like spirits coming forward and asking us to affirm that our physical form is in perfect harmony with our spirit, right? So we can fulfill that purpose with strength and grace. They're really just reassuring us, I feel, that is something, that we don't necessarily have to worry about, right? Just to kind of check ourselves. If there's anything that's physically bothering us, to maybe have it checked out. I don't know, like I say, always, seek professional advice in matters of health and wellness. So we'll see what else comes out here. These affirmations can really be used, as intention setting, right? That we can light a candle, place these little messages in places where we will see them consistently throughout the day. I just want to cut this deck again. Let me see. What else would we have, Spirit? Howdy doody do. Howdy's gonna get you. Sacred sleep. So really maybe needing some rest. It says, I enter sacred sleep each night, a healing sanctuary where my body, mind, and soul restore in perfect harmony. So it's making sure that we get the proper amount of sleep, knowing that as we sleep, we enter, for me, it's like a sacred chamber, right? It's a chamber where my conscious mind really just kind of goes to sleep and we relax from the day so that our guides can come through. So even our dreaming, right, can be heightened during that phase. Let's see, is there one more? One more. Oh, yes. Inner love. I embrace every part of who I am with love, kindness, and deep appreciation. A lot of times too, we can tend to compare ourselves to others, right? And we're being reminded that, we are unique. There really is going to be no one like us. And to really embrace those parts of us that we have perceived as being imperfect, right? So it's really allowing ourselves to get some rest, to draw, our breath, our body into alignment with our spirit, to recognize that love within and allow that to radiate. And let's see what else we have here. I want to pull see what sort of little gremlins come out. Okay, so we have play here. Um, Play is a biological drive. It's integral to our health, as integral, really, as sleep and nutrition. Um, and it helps really spark the imagination, kind of takes us back to that inner child, the joy, right? The wonder, the awe. Um, hmm, Maybe remembering that childhood, right? I don't know. That drawing, I mean, he looks happy, but I think they could have done the eyes a little bit better. Although that could have been, I think about strategy when I see him too, those strategic games, um, football, kickball, things like that. Hmm. He definitely seems like he's going out to have fun, and all that yellow, that solar plexus really lighting up, you know, allowing ourselves to become imaginative, to draw that artistic energy from within and allow that to come out. This could also be remembering childhood dreams, right? The joy, also. Hmm. This guy was just sticking out. I didn't notice he was still sticking out there. Um, this is moral, right? These are deep convictions. Um, it can be experiencing a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Um, Making sure that those things we do for fun and pleasure kind of align with our moral principles. Um, hmm, just, hmm, I don't know. I think that is, yeah, huh. I feel like he kind of needs to take the cape off. um, it's like a superhero feeling here. Hmm. It's like aligning those things we do for joy, those creative endeavors align with our moral principles. Someone may have been sleeping on that. It may be meditating on that. Huh. I feel like from this little guy that this is someone coming out. It's almost like that hermit energy. It's like removing the cape, removing the veil, and stepping out in joy, um, with feeling empowered and emboldened, under that radiant health, being in line, body, mind, soul type of energy with that love, right? Drawing that divine love into that space. Um, huh. These were the other two cards that were still standing. This is lonely and fawning, right? It's like feeling this is like a people pleasing energy. It's like trying to do things to get others to like you, right? Um, hmm. Sorry, I gotta sit back for a minute. Hmm. There's a couple things that I'm getting from this, right? This lonely and this fawning. It's almost like he's looking at this guy. This guy is kind of, he looks happy. He appears to be happy. This one here is looking like, I wish I could be like that. And maybe wishing that we were more playful and fun or doing things just because we're lonely and really wanting to be liked, right? Um, this play, I feel like, should really be, it's like, what do you really enjoy, right? What do you truly enjoy? What really lights your fire? Are you doing things for others because you don't want to be lonely, you don't want to be left out, you and this is bringing in that inner love, right? That self love. It's like spirit saying you are enough as you are. You don't have to do or be anything different to get people to like you, right? To really remember that. Um, yeah, it's feeling insecure. This is, really coming from a place of insecurity. It's almost like looking at others, looking at the fun that they're having, wanting to have that camaraderie, wanting to have that space where you can be yourself, really. But mm, so, hmm, okay, so this is going to get a little crowded. I think here. It's almost, it can almost be someone who has really high moral standards, right? And they may want, they may feel like they have to let some of that go um, in order to be liked, right? This isn't going to look like a very good card, but it's those insecurities, right, that tell us that we're not good enough. And it's coming into that place of self review and learning to be grateful for who we are, what we have. It's really trying to see through the crap, right, that we have had to kind of dig ourselves through inwardly. And it's like in this self review, right? It's like reviewing that moral standard, reviewing those things which really light us up, recognizing where we have placed and or said and done things that was more in a people pleasing energy. And then I feel like this guy here, he's mind blown, right? It's like someone, we'll find out. We'll find out. Stick him there. Try to stack these guys up. It's really taking an inward look at what's been going on. Let's see what energies we have. Selfless abundance, negative manifestations, and well, I don't want to take care of all of that. Procrastination. Let's see, maybe I will. Oh, okay. So we're letting go of this place in the ego, right? The ego seeks control and validation, but the desire for personal gain can lead you off course. Be mindful of choices driven by pride or arrogance. True alignment flows from your higher self, not the ego. You are not bound to repeat the patterns of your family lineage. Free yourself from inherited limitations and step into your own truth. Says timing is as essential as action. You may feel ready, but the universe has bigger picture in mind. Release the urgency and allow the unfolding to occur at the perfect time, assuring all conditions support your success. Moving in, this is a lot of your root chakra. This is someone, it's almost like people pleasing the family, right? It's almost like coming from this place. This could be someone who's coming out of, say, maybe a spiritual experience or religious experience where it was like the standards that were having to be adhered to were so strong, right? They were so restrictive and binding. And it's like learning how to come out of that place and allow that spirit that was within you to shine, right? To not feel like you have to do things to keep everybody in the family happy, right? It may be that your spirituality is not really accepted in that lineage, in your family. And it's like letting go of the ego here, letting go of the ego, that part of us which wants to belong so badly that it's almost like we would do anything to be like someone else or to, have what someone else has. And there may have been a time, where it just wasn't right for you, like it's trying to come out with a manifestation and it doesn't really work out the way we expect it to. It says you are a powerful force of creation in the universe. Your negative words and thoughts hold as much power to manifest as your positive ones. Be mindful of where your focus lies, for energy flows where the attention goes. So it's really, spirit's really coming in and saying, hey, it's okay. Like, this is someone I feel who's very, very serious, um, coming from a very serious space, may even be procrastinating. Um, but spirit's coming in and saying, it's time to step into that true abundance. It's where your cup overflows and allows you to give generously to others when your energy is no longer consumed with self-survival or personal maintenance. You will be positioned to help in a selfless way. And this is embracing happiness and moving into a new direction. So I know this is, quite a few here, but I mean, this is really coming from the root chakra. It's that raw experience, right? It's also coming from the root, I feel, of the lineage, right? Of our family, maybe our past lives, right? Where possibly we were punished, or um, there was some sort of sacrifice based on our moral standing, our spiritual beliefs. Um, but I feel like this mind blown, right? I mean, he kind of looks angry at him a little, but it's almost like there's this mind blown energy that can't, it's like that epiphany. I get a couple energies off of it where you're mind blown, or someone is mind blown as to where you've been and how far you've come. It may even be you that is recognized how you've come from such a dense energy, and you're starting to feel that gratitude, right? And enter into that sacred sleep, allowing the mind and the body to rest so that spirit can come in, and learning to embrace, right? That selfless abundance, embracing happiness, and moving into a new direction. This may be a surprising new opportunity even here. I'm going to kind of do like this, right? Because I feel like this is someone who's really letting go of some binding spiritual contracts and agreements that, it's like when I was growing up, we entered into a spiritual community where, I mean, there was, you were allowed to have clothes and food and shelter, like your basic necessities, but doing things like other children, playing the games other children play, like, it was not allowed, right? I mean, it would send a child to hell. It would send a child to hell, right? Let alone an adult. And it may even be coming out with a higher moral standard for some. It may be having come from a place where we did things just to please others, and we went against our own moral standing in doing so because we didn't want to be alone, right? Because we didn't want to be left out. And now we're stepping into this new energy where we're embracing ourselves, right? That life within us. Says true abundance is when your cup overflows, allowing you to give generously to others when your energy is no longer consumed with self-survival and personal maintenance. You will be positioned to help others in a selfless way. It's embracing this new direction, aligning ourselves, our chakras, right? It's like bringing our chakras into alignment with that higher power, being grateful for where we've come from to where we are. And honestly, the howdy doody do, right? How do you do? It's like bringing that joy into the way we speak, right? Into our words, allowing that playful energy to come forward, possibly not taking life so seriously, right? I mean, I know there are, things that happen that can feel quite serious. We all go through them. But this is really learning how to handle those energies on a whole new level. Let's see what our tarot says. Truly, it's embracing that happiness and that joy within. Allowing that to shine is going to take you in a whole new direction. I mean, you may find yourself stepping away from friends, from family. It's like the family that says, but we always do this. Every year we do this. Every year we have this party, this celebration, and everybody does this. And Mary Jane dresses like that, and Billy Bob dresses like this. And this one brings their kids, and that one. And it's like somebody who's like, I'm done. I'm done with the way it always has been done. Right? It's bringing in something new, something fresh, something that reaches the soul, right? It's the joy of living, right? It's like this person has been tied and bound in this place of moral beliefs, right? And feeling like they're really worthless. And then doing that self review and coming out grateful for the value that they found within. And it kind of makes sense now that we're coming up, here in the US with the holidays, right? That there will be gatherings, there will be celebrations. And it's like not feeling it the old way. It's wanting to bring that new self, that discovery of who you are, and allowing that to shine, allowing that to dance in the sun, and to really enjoy life in a whole new way. And not just going with the flow just because it makes everyone happy, right? And you may even be procrastinating. It may even be an invitation to attend something, right? To attend some sort of celebration or gathering, and you're procrastinating and saying, you know what? I'm really not feeling it here. I mean, this says you are a powerful force of creation in the universe. Your negative words and thoughts hold as much power to manifest as your positive ones, right? This is like, I there are times I remember, God, this had to be 25 years ago. Where we were invited to a family dinner, right? And it was in a very nice place. We were all sitting around having fun, talking, but there were some conversations that it was just rattling me to my core. I couldn't stay. I could not stay in it. Like, it wasn't physically harming us, right? There was nothing like, say, illegal going on, right? There was nothing that it, it's just it was the way it always was. And at that time I had grown to a point where I couldn't sit in that kind of talk anymore, right? And I even had my son with me at the time, and all I could think of, like, my ears were burning, and all I could think of was my son, as young as he was taking in all of that. And it was really not working for me. Um, so it may be, how do I come out and say, no, without hurting the people that I care about, right? It's learning how to make decisions for yourself, right? To maintain your own moral beliefs and standing, and to learn how to step up on, stand on that, and to come forward. And it's like spirit, I can't help but, it's like that joy, right? Bring in that play, go have fun, right? Release some of that pressure, because while mind blown can actually be kind of like a happy surprise, right? We have play here. It can actually be a happy surprise. We do have a lot of that root and some of that solar plexus coming through, right? And creating kind of a fog over the head. And so coming out and having fun, letting go of the restrictions, the strictness that's keeping us from saying what's truly in our heart, that keeps us from taking that leap of joy, right? Doing what makes us happy. This is like that sense of deep obligation that I'm getting. And we can really have that, especially with people who have been in our lives for a long time, and have developed certain traditions and ways of always doing things right. So I'll get a tarot card out here. I promise. There we go. Judgment. We have judgment. We have disagreements. And we have rejuvenation. And at the bottom of the deck, yeah, I really feel, that, yeah, there may be some disagreements. There may be some internal conflict and challenges. There may be even some competitive, when we compare ourselves to one another, it brings out that spirit of competition. It brings out that separation and that division. And it's really being called to a higher standard, right? That judgment, it's calling us to rise above the fray, to come out of, these people, they're coming out of graves, right? Those things which confined them and held them underground, right? And they're rising up and answering that call within to take a new direction, right? To radiate that love and that health, that breath of life that comes within. And that can be, like my family already sees me as a piece of crap. So I'm like, well, whatever. But, well, not all of them, maybe, but I know quite a few of them do. But you kind of have to rise above the public opinion, right? And just step out. I mean, that disagreement, we do have quite a few what I call like religious holidays, right? Where there are just some things that are done the same way, those traditions. And it's like, who I have here is like, no, I want to be with people who see me. I want to be in an area where I don't have to just do things to make, you know, everyone happy. This is someone who's really seeking that genuine, authentic connection. And we have here also the star. It's rejuvenation. It's embracing that happiness. It says the life you desire begins with a single choice, choosing joy. As you let go of the belief that happiness is beyond your reach, you awaken to the truth that you were not born to suffer, but to experience love, beauty, and creation. It's really bringing in that healing of that part of us which says, I'm really not good enough. I'm not like anybody out there that I've ever known. And somebody who may have been under judgment quite heavily themselves, right? Maybe even experienced arguments and division and separation and competition because of those spiritual beliefs. You know, there comes a time when we recognize that and we are grateful, but then we're called to put it into action, right? And with that play, it's like bring joy into that action, right? It's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, right? The A spoonful of joy, it's a merry medicine. And if there are some who are just going to continue to battle and stand in that internal conflict, this is like I hear a lot of running mouths in the background. It's like, well, can you believe that? This one, that one, this one, that one. Da, 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 da. And he did this and she did that. And they think they're better. And they think that, da, 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 da. Let it go. Like, oof, that's thick. That's judgment. That's them not wanting to see the value inside themselves, right? That dark night of the soul, that time of withdrawal can be scary. I know people who will do absolutely anything. I mean, they will get up and walk circles and pace back and forth just not to have to sit in stillness and deal with themselves, right? It's, and at the bottom of the deck, we do have happiness, right? This is that rejuvenation. This is that healing. It's like there's hope for the future. This can really bring in healing and renewal and peace. Embracing happiness, that inner love. This is not believing all those running mouths anymore. It's not listening to that. I mean, look at his eyes, right? This is someone who does something to make someone else happy, and you have this insecure energy that's like they feel like a piece of crap. They feel like a piece of crap. It's that self review that says, you know what? I'm better than that. They, whatever this is, may not think so, but you know what? That's okay. They don't have to think the way we think, right? They don't have to feel the way we feel. Um, can really be someone, I mean, it's like dreading having to be in that energy. And I can, Well, here you go. Solar plexus energy. Everything they do breaks and falls apart. It's moving away from a very destructive energy. This is like cruelty to me. It's like someone who will demean someone else just for the fun of it. It's like those jokes, right? That are, you know, they'll say mean things and then laugh about it, right? They may even do things like this is just those cruel jokes that cause people to like fall down or hurt themselves. And then everybody, like, I just, pointing the fingers at others instead of themselves. There's nothing funny about it. And I think someone's realizing the destructive nature of those they've surrounded themselves with, that, and they're just moving away from that. Yeah, they're putting that in the past. That past judgment, um turning it over. You will triumph over this challenge. Have faith. Yeah, rely on that faith within you. Allow that energy to be in the past. This may be, with Mercury in retrograde, we have a lot of things coming back from the past. And especially at the holidays, we have family gatherings with people that we don't see but once a year if they show up every year. And it's kind of like, I'm not doing this just to make everybody happy. Like this last year has really changed whoever this is, and they're seeing, right? There's a stark difference maybe between their daily life and having to sit around a table or having to take part in whatever this is. And it's it's not, and maybe they're feeling bad about it, right? Oh wow, here's your heart. You know who who you are and what you want, and you are going for it. Absolutely. And that is going to bring that rejuvenation. It is going to bring that healing. This is like a wish come true, right? It's like letting go of the way it's always been done just to make somebody else happy, recognizing your own value, stepping forward because you do know who you are and what you want. And this time I feel like you're going for it. There just may be a little insecurity in how these energies are going to react, but know that you're stepping into a more abundant energy, that you're stepping into what I call the light of the sun, right? And allowing that sun to warm you, to, just kind of light on your face and feel the warmth and the beauty and the glow coming from within you, right? Allowing that to rise, to really, I feel like this is someone who practices gratitude. And I feel like that is going to be very helpful. Yeah, look at this, more yellow. Wow. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. Absolutely right on the sun. This is feeling good about yourself. This is recognizing that I'm no more a people pleaser, right? I'm not just going along to get along anymore. This is who I have become. This is who I am. And I am going to continue radiating that self love from within, even if that means taking a new direction, spending these times with new people who recognize and embrace and see the value of me, and have something of value to share, right? That they're not going to hold me in judgment for the way that I now believe spiritually, right? I think that's a good move for real. I can't, I can understand the hesitancy, right? Um, it takes a lot to walk away from those family traditions. But you can do it. Oh, wow. I just split. I swear I just split this and at the bottom of the deck. So I always like to kind of split the deck to see the middle, right? We know the bottom of the deck is those things we don't see coming, but the middle of the deck often for me reveals what overcoming those challenges that we don't see will bring, right? And you really can't make it up. Um, because here we have the Wheel of Fortune, right? Yeah, on this card, this is the Wheel of Fortune. It's turning in your favor, bringing a fortunate opportunity or destined connection, right? And then we have adventure. It's the Knight of Wands, right? It's allowing that adventurous spirit to come through. And then we have the Chariot, right? This could even be something that requires travel, right? But it brings adventure. It's like entering a whole new adventure, experiencing these times of celebration and gathering, knowing that you're not sitting at a table of hierarchy, that you're sitting, it's like at the round table where everybody brings their part forward, right? Yeah, this could even be travel that comes in. um, what is interesting is, bringing that in to more sacred unions. Kindred spirits was at the bottom of the other deck. It said sacred bonds are forming as the universe aligns you with kindred spirits who share your values and resonate with your energy. When two or more souls align with a shared purpose, manifestation accelerates effortlessly. That's beautiful. Yeah, stepping away, leaving the old way of doing things, taking that new direction, letting go of those past conflicts and arguments and disagreements and judgments and actions and all of that volatile energy, that competitive energy, and really coming into union with a kindred spirit, right? With those who see the oneness in all, right? Who are there, the wholeness in all who are there. I think it's really a beautiful reading. I can, like I said, I can understand where there would be some hesitancy with the conflict back this way, probably family conflict. Maybe you want to go out on a spiritual retreat. Um, you know, and do some breath work or a sound bath or, things like that. And families just like a sound bath. What is that? Like you've lost your lid, right? But doing those things that bring you joy is what is really going to bring forward this Wheel of Fortune. And it is all in divine timing, right? It doesn't just flip like a coin, right? This is a wheel and it goes around and it takes time to go around and it's turning your way as you step into that arena where there is no competition, right? There really is no competition. So it might even be that you get an invitation to travel, right? To see family. I see. Um, it may be that you're feeling like It may even be one of those energies. Another scenario that's coming to me is that maybe you haven't been invited to something because they judge you for your spiritual gifts, and you're feeling a little left out in the cold. But there is some invitation, there is some new direction that is coming forward that is probably going to be a little mind blowing. I think he's under here. Um, as to just how well everyone fits together and gets along and sees one another. So it's like spirit saying, hey, 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 don't do this just to make everybody happy. We've got something better for you, right? We've got a table for you to sit at where you are equal and whole and yet unique. And you can bring that forward with joy, right? You can bring that forward because you know who you are and what you want, and you are going for it, and you will feel good about being a loving and colorful you. So I want to wish you an amazing time at wherever it is you choose to go. And I will now return your energy to you, pure and whole, as I receive my energy back, pure and whole, allowing only that which is light to remain. And so it is. And may you go in love and gratitude and peace.